we get a better picking today. I guess that's the way you would word it. Um, Everybody that's going to be jumping in, we're going to be diving into self growth, dating, relationships, spirituality. You get to throw any questions down below, and we give you practical advice you can actually utilize in your daily life. We got a lot of mosquitoes here, so we're going to be fighting those off as we give you guys advice. So if anyone has advice for getting rid of mosquitoes, you can give that to me. Alright, everybody. I've helped a couple hundred men and women in my coaching practice transform their lives, so we are here to help you guys out too. I'm looking forward to diving into everything with you guys. So, for everyone that's going to be jumping in, welcome back. Feel free to throw some questions down below. Looking forward to diving in with everybody. So, the first few initial people jumping in, feel free to throw some questions down below. We'll give you guys some actionable, practical steps you can actually utilize and implement in your daily life. So, with that being said, welcome in everybody. Appreciate the likes. Whoever's got the first few questions, feel free and open to throw them down below. We'll dive into them. What's going on, Shada? First one in here, welcome in. Welcome in. I appreciate the likes. Thank you very much. Hopefully we get promoted out to a lot more people. Ronnie, what's going on? Everybody, welcome in. Self-growth, dating, relationships, spirituality. You guys can throw in any questions down below. I'm looking forward to helping you guys out. Where do you need some advice in your life? Where do you need some guidance? Where do you need some clarity? You can feel free to throw any questions down below, and we're going to dive into it with you. Appreciate you sharing the live, Shada. Welcome in, everybody. Appreciate all the likes. We usually get a ton of people in here super quickly. The last few days it's been down for some reason. I don't know why. I do not know why. It's not optimal. Not good. But everybody that's going to be jumping in, feel free to throw some questions down below. I'm looking forward to helping you guys out. Where do you need some advice? Where do you need some guidance? Self-growth, dating, relationships, spirituality? Looking forward to diving in and helping you guys out. Who's got the first few initial questions? Let's dive into it. Let's dive in. What's going on, Raju? Is a break good? Are you talking about a break in your life, meaning taking time off on the weekends? Are you talking about a break in a romantic relationship? If you give me some clarity there, I'll be able to kind of give you a more in-depth answer. What's going on, Lexi? Hi again. Talked with my long-distance man, and it's all good now. Let's go, Hannah. I'm glad you guys had a conversation. That's brilliant. And well, not only that you had the conversation, but that you guys are doing well. How can I approach the girl that I like? Good question. It's really just opening up the conversation, right? Flirting with her a little bit, letting her know you find her attractive, and asking her curious questions that you want to know the answers to about her personal life, about things that she's passionate about, things that she connects to, and seeing where the overlap is and how you guys actually can connect at that level. Is a break good in a relationship? She said we needed to take a break. I personally believe that most of the time, most times people need breaks in relationships. They're either avoiding a truth that they already know, that they think they're uncertain about, but secretly they're actually certain about it. It could also be that they're avoiding the necessary hard conversations that you need to have. They're not in a place to have them currently. And it could also be that they genuinely need space. I guess, Medina, my question to you would be like, did she provide you a reason as to why she needs some space? Or is it just like, hey, I need a break just for the sake of having a break? How do I involve myself if I'm third wheeling? Well, I'd first recommend, do you really want to be third wheeling in the first place? Initiate conversations, but there's only so much you can do when you're third wheeling, to be honest. Thanks, it was good that I wrote to someone about it yesterday. How to stop gooning. When you feel like you want to start doing it, what habit, where can you take that energy and implement it somewhere more productive, somewhere more connective? What's going on, Adam? Appreciate all the likes, Shadow. Appreciate it very much. Welcome in, everybody. Yeah, I don't know why we're barely getting promoted out to anyone. This is really weird. We usually get a ton more people in here. Very strange. Very strange. But, since there's only a few people in here, you guys get some more space. to dive into some more questions. How do I get a relationship? I struggle talking to girls. You have to initiate flirtation. You have to let her know you find her cute, attractive, whatever. Ask her questions you want to know the answers to, that you're curious about. Yeah, I'd focus more on getting to know someone and seeing where it leads authentically, rather than an expectation that you need to find a relationship right now. That'll put you in a position where you'll be more likely to find someone and be more in tune with them because you know what you're looking for. Do you specialize in the mental game of sports? What do you mean mental game of sports? Like when you're in sports and you're trying to make a decision, stuff like that? How do you know if you're actually a good partner? You're able to have challenging conversations. You're able to, when you feel like avoiding something or you're anxious about it, bring it up, even if it's challenging. Um, you guys are trying to fight the problem, not each other. And you guys are giving each other a genuine space to interact with this. You guys have a shared vision of the future that you're in alignment with, that you're working towards together. You also have both areas of your life, in your personal, individual life, that you're passionate about, that you are pursuing, and that you guys can support each other with. She quit her job and raising her son, and you and her have, and you have some trust problems. Okay, well, yeah, the trust problems need to be solved. Is her son, so her son is, you're not the father, somebody else? Shada said, am I annoying? I'll always be the first to send messages in the group chat. I don't think that necessarily means you're annoying. If you're the only person that ever sends first messages, I would give a little bit of space to see if somebody else is going to initiate it. Could also be that you're like the leader of the friend group that you're in. That's also possible. And that other people just kind of wait for it to happen. There's a lot of different possibilities here. Do you think I can ever get over my mom passing away? She died when I was in my early teenage years. Well, I think your relationship with your mom passing away changes over time. I don't think you ever get over it, meaning like you stop thinking about her entirely and forget that it happened. You'll always feel some level of pain with it, but over time you get to experience gratitude as well for the time that you did have together. How old are you now? RG3 says false teachings. I don't know what that means. Someone else is the father. She's a single mom. Okay. So she needs a break because she's raising her child, but wasn't she doing that before? Maybe she feels like she can't handle her own stuff right now and she doesn't want to be in a relationship. I don't know. There's a few different possibilities here. There are a few different possibilities. Appreciate you sharing the live. When did you become a life coach? About 2 years ago. Been studying this stuff for about 8 years. Alright, self-growth, dating, relationship, spirituality. Any questions about that, we'll give you an answer to. After dating for 4 months, how many dates a week should I plan? Optimal times a week to see each other. If you've been dating for 4 months, if you guys have schedules that aren't really in alignment with each other, 1 to 2 times a week, I'd say. If you can get like 3 times, that would be awesome. It also depends on how far you guys live from each other, what you're planning on doing together. Even if it's just seeing each other for an hour and a half, going out to a quick dinner, that might make her evening or your evening, or, depending on what you guys are doing. Why do I think about things weirdly? Is it because think about what weirdly? What does that mean? How do you study as a life coach? It's different for everybody. I personally like a lot of psychology, a lot of spirituality, a lot of philosophy. I've had quite a few mentors, other coaches in the space. You change departments for higher pay, but you don't like it. Okay. So, now is the question, are you able to revert back to the other thing, or is this where you're at right now? What would you do differently? Is there a whole another industry? What's going on, Adam? How long should I hang out with my partner? We've been dating for 3 years. What do you mean, how long should you hang out with them for? Chris, thanks for the gift. Do you live in LA? I do not. Yeah, it's been a while. She hasn't really had anyone be there for her in her life. So yeah, this also might be her fear of abandonment kicking in. She might be struggling, right? And she might be pushing. I'm just trying to get this bug off my shirt. There we go. She might be pushing you away, not because she necessarily wants a break, but because she feels like she needs space because she doesn't know how to rely on somebody else for a certain period of time. So I definitely have a deep conversation with her about it if she's open to it. Can't force it though, it's only an invitation. I mean, it's useless to do things because you'll forget it the next day. Well, you don't always forget everything the next day. In fact, sometimes you remember. Thanks for the gift again, Chris. Not only do sometimes you remember, but sometimes the experiences you have today shape who you are. They help you forge your values, make better decisions, recognize your mistakes, learn lessons, get more in tune with yourself, love deeper, do more research. You don't always forget everything. Only if you're doing things that you don't feel like matter. How can I lose the fear of doing anything? Could you rephrase that question? Like you're afraid of doing everything? Or you're just certain things you're afraid of? Thanks, Brad, for helping people. Yeah, of course. New job got me stressed. I lost my part-time job for blank and drinking on the job. Okay, so you learned your lesson. Is there anything about this job that you enjoy? I have a sister who emotionally blank every day through looks and talking. Nothing solves it. You can't force people to have a conversation and improve their behavior if they don't want to have the conversation. Sometimes you need to create space, you need to create distance. You have to put up a boundary if you genuinely can't have a conversation with them. How long do you think is too long dating someone before you ask them to marry you? Well, I think it depends on how old you are, how you feel your communication is, have you lived together before? There's like a billion different reasons. So I'd say it's less about time and more about your connection, but you said you've been with your relationship partner for 3 years. It's not unreasonable to not be married to someone after 3 years of dating them. Because, to be honest, do you really know someone fully after 3 years of dating them? You know a lot of them. Not all of them. I mean, do we ever know all of someone? No. But it's more of how in tune you guys are. What qualifies to make a person real? Everybody's real. They exist. Dude, there's so many bugs out here. It's so humid. What do you believe in spiritual-wise? Well, I believe in God, but not in necessarily a particular religious sense, since I'm not a part of any particular religion. What do I do if a girl stopped talking to me to talk to another guy? Give yourself time, effort, energy, and space to process the fact that she let you down. But understand that she didn't choose you. If she wants to be with someone else, let her be with someone else. Not your decision. So you want a girl that chooses you, Will. You want a girl that wants to be with you, not one that you have to, say, convince that she should be with you over somebody else. If she wants to be with someone else, she can be with someone else. My son and his wife dated and lived together for 7 years before getting married. Right. Yeah. You could go about it like that. Some people say, you shouldn't move in until you get married. I think that's a bad idea because you might realize after you move in, you're not in tune with each other as much as you thought you were. So I personally think, again, not that I've done it yet, but I think definitely before you get married, it's good to live with somebody for a certain period of time. You get to see their habits, how they show up every day, how they feel, so on and so forth. Losing out, the fear of speaking up. Well, you're afraid of people seeing the real version of you. You're afraid that they're going to judge you, that they won't accept you. Here's a question and a prompt I'd have you ask yourself. What if they will trust you? What if they will care about you? What if they will accept you? What if they do think you're cool to talk to? Right? All of these different possibilities. Trish, thanks for the gift. I know, but boundaries are impossible with her, and I live with her and my parents. I can't leave. Okay, so maybe you spend more time outside. Maybe you spend more time at the public library near you, or somewhere else where you can spend some time and you go home to sleep, and when you're working or studying or doing something else, you're out somewhere else. Sometimes that's what you have to do to create the distance. It's not fun to experience that, but sometimes it's required. Trying to start dating again, spent a long time alone. Have very few pictures and struggle with the... Dude, this fly keeps flying around. Trying to start dating and spent a long time alone. You struggle with the... And then the rest of your comment didn't go through. My ex has unblocked me randomly. What does this mean? Does he miss me? It's possible. I'm definitely curious why your relationship ended. Because just because somebody misses you doesn't necessarily mean you should get back together. It's a possibility, but I don't know why you got separated. She's the one who DM'd me. It doesn't matter. If she chose to be someone else, then she chose to be with someone else. What should you do when you feel lost in life? Start to try new things. Like anything. Passions, hobbies, look into different jobs, careers, find what you're intrigued by and spend some time, effort, and energy researching it. Play some new sports. Talk to new people, initiate conversations. Things that you used to enjoy that you haven't been doing a lot recently, pick those back up. My ex left me and went to somebody else, but while he's with her, they like my posts, and they don't follow me. They're playing some games here. The question is, do you want to play along with that game? Or do you want to let them do their thing from a distance? They're in a relationship, you don't have to interrupt. Appreciate what you're doing. Of course. Kaya, feel free to shoot me a follow. Would love to see you back in here. Dude, these bugs are really annoying. I've ended it because we're exclusive for over 6 months, but she doesn't want a label or to be official. Yeah, if after 6 months someone doesn't want to be official with you, and you're looking for a long-term relationship, that's your best decision to cut it off. Because you guys do not want the same things. Otherwise, we were a couple, vacation together, she got cheated on in the last relationship. Yeah, maybe she's afraid of commitment, she's afraid of getting hurt again. There's a lot of different possibilities. But, if she doesn't want to commit, you can't stay there. Can't stay there forever and just wait, Alright, let's move this a little bit so it's getting a lot more sunny. There we go. There we go. So who advises the life coach? I have 3 coaches myself. Still miss her, always thinking maybe I should have done something different. Yeah, you could always think, I wish I did something different, but you didn't. So you either change your behavior now and become the best possible version of yourself, or you live in the past in your mind forever. Don't punish yourself for a version of you that doesn't have to keep existing. Don't punish yourself for something you did in the past. Just change the behavior. And maybe, just maybe, things went exactly as they needed to go for you to learn these lessons, to then put you in a better position. Maybe you had to go through them in order to understand yourself. Habits are hard to change. They're hard to change, but they're simple to change, right? Because the habits you're doing, they're giving you some sort of pleasure or helping you avoid something else. You got to ask yourself, is there a certain amount of pain you're avoiding, processing, something you're not looking at? And then that can give you a little bit more of an insight into what would I even replace the habit with? What would I want to do instead, rather than just what I should be doing? Because sometimes that's not something you actually want to do. You got to try some other things. Do you know how to recognize the signs of a blank? No, I don't. I'm not a medical professional. I don't deal with stuff like that. Dude, these bugs, they just keep flying around. It's never this bad when I sit outside. Scared for my future because I see what's happening to people. Is it bad for thinking about the future? No, you have to plan for the future, but what are you worried about? The things that are happening to other people, that's their own unique individual experience. It's not yours. You take lessons from it, and maybe make decisions differently than them if they're making bad decisions, but I wouldn't compare yourself exactly to somebody else's completely unique journey. How do you become a life coach? I spent 8 years studying this and worked with quite a few coaches that coached me. Should I stop doing blank? If you feel like you should, what would you do instead to help with anxiety or sadness or pain or whatever it is that you're using it for currently? That would be the first place to start and what you would want to address. Welcome in, everybody. Self-growth, dating, relationships, spirituality. Feel free to throw some questions down below. We shall dive in. Do you think people with addiction ever really fix it? Yeah. I know. I talked to somebody who actually coaches people to become sober recently, and he was addicted for a very long time in his life, but he's been sober for quite a few years at this point. Now, is it an ongoing battle? Meaning, like, if there's a severe level of pain or trauma you've been through and you haven't fully overcome that, and it's kind of a part of you, will you the desire to do it 100% go away? Maybe not, but you can get a good probably 85-90% of the way there, and that's worth it. And then you're able to manage it. I think it's different for everybody. Certain people are able to completely overcome addictions. Other people just kind of learn to live with doing it less. Or, yeah, but again, it's also the philosophy of like trying to fix yourself. It means that you feel like there's something fundamentally wrong with you. What if there's not something fundamentally wrong with you? What if there's just a few things that you haven't addressed? Going to a support group tonight, afraid of being judged if I mentioned I'm going out with someone tomorrow night, 7 months after losing my husband. If you're going to a support group, the point of the support group is to support you, right? That's the intentionality. So I would be very surprised, Trish, if somebody judges you there. I'd be very surprised. If they were, that's not a support group, right? So I think they're going to be welcome to have you, and I think the point is going to be for you to be open to people, and they might give you a lot of what you're looking for. Maybe some reassurance, maybe some different perspectives. Third-year medical student thinking about dropping out due to academic demands. Thoughts? If you're 3 years into studies, and the only reason you're thinking of dropping out is due to the academic demands, but this is an industry and a career you truly still want to do for yourself, I would not drop out. You have to push through this. You just have to manage your time better. You have to study more effectively. You got to see where you're falling short currently so you can actually fix it instead of quitting, for example. What do you do if the person you love the most in your life has a timeline left? What does have a timeline left mean? I don't know what that means. My parents are divorced. How do I balance it because none of my siblings stay at my dad's place? Well, take some time out of your weekends or whenever it is to go see other people, even if you don't live with them. You can't control that. But you can control when you see people. I know lots of people would get addicted to something else after they quit something. Well, yeah, because they haven't actually addressed the root cause as to why they picked up the addiction in the first place. So people think alcohol is the problem. No, it's deep pain that you've experienced that you haven't processed, and the alcohol helps you not feel that pain. That's why you do it. My ex and I were together for almost 2 years. We had a daughter. She's 4 months old. Okay, are you guys co-parenting? What's going on in that situation? How old are you? 22. Not even a month later, she's sleeping with someone. Hasn't even processed us yet. Ah, okay. Let her do what she wants to do. She's trying to process her pain through pleasure. It doesn't work. It just helps you disconnect yourself from yourself. You can't control that. But you do have to figure out this co-parenting situation. But yeah, she's going to do what she wants to do. I know you're going to feel offended by it, and I would very much feel offended by it too. But you can't control other people. Let people do what they want to do. But you do have to find the overlap of how you're going to raise your kid, because that's very important. But yeah, this relationship isn't going to be it. Alright, let's see. Welcome in, everybody. What do I do when my parents don't like my relationship partner and say that you deserve better? Okay, why are they saying that? What are the qualities about her that are making them say that? Maybe they're just being outwardly judgmental for no reason, or maybe there's certain things that they see that you don't. What's going on TikTok? TikTok, I don't know what happened to the views. You see them? What's going on? Hit the gym. You have the potential. You're saying I should hit the gym? Is that what you're saying? S, I appreciate your troll comments. I appreciate you. I'm sitting here feeling like I'm missing something. And what I'm missing is I forgot to bring my drinks outside. Because I was just going to reach and drink something. But they're not here. What do you mean views? Oh, like how many people are watching? Thank you very much, S. I appreciate you. She didn't say hi to my mom for the first time seeing her. Was she a little bit more shy? How do you process overwhelming emotions? Don't run away from them. You have to sit in the uncomfortable experience. I understand that TikTok. I was just making a joke. Yeah, look, the sadness, the frustration, the anger. Go on walks. Give yourself some journaling prompts. Give yourself some space to experience this without judging yourself for it. Just witnessing it, understanding it, seeing where it's leading you deeper into yourself, what it's trying to teach you. That's how you process the emotions. And try to see if you can dive into one at a time. You can't always. Sometimes you're in a flurry. But give yourself some space, take some deep breaths. If it feels too overwhelming, move your body physically. Getting in the gym, going for a walk, something that helps you feel a lot more connected. Because when you integrate the mind and the body together, when the mind is struggling, give yourself some space, right? Like just going to the gym and like doing a part of my routine is going and doing some sort of physical activity before I work. So I either go to the gym in the morning, I'll go for a walk, I'll go running, I'll do some sort of physical activity, and it primes my mind to feel a lot more focused, and just I feel more connected throughout the day. Whereas if I just wake up and just start working for the next 11 hours and I don't really do anything physical, I feel kind of sluggish. And my mind does too, right? So you integrate the physical and the mental together. It really helps, really helps. The person I love the most in my life only has a couple years left. Spend as much time as possible with them. Cherish your time together. Be present. Appreciate all the likes. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Self-growth, dating, relationships, spirituality. Feel free to throw some questions down below. We'll help you guys out. Who's got some more questions? How was your day? Day was decent. It's decent. I really needed someone like you. What's going on? What do you need help with? It's so humid out. I have a bad sleep schedule. When I fix it, it always falls out again. Okay. Are you scrolling on your phone? What is the distraction that's coming into place where you're not able to keep yourself consistent with it? She left me and we're on no contact, but I saw her reposting for her new crush. Maybe mute her account if you're not ready to unfollow her yet, so you don't see the reposts. I don't know if muting actually gets rid of the reposts or not. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. What's going on, Ethan? Doing good, how are you? Powder said, who cares about girls? Chase your purpose. You could chase your purpose and have a beautiful romantic relationship. It doesn't have to be one or the other. I really don't know what to believe anymore. Aliens, blank, or the so-called system. Well, you live in the system, so don't pretend it doesn't exist. Whether you want to believe in aliens or not is kind of irrelevant to what you're going to actually have to build in your life. You have to find purpose, passion, clarity, a vision in your life that you're building towards. Is the first impression of someone more important, or there should be a place for if someone changes? I think the first impression is very important. So if you meet somebody and your first impression is, I don't want to talk to this person ever again, I wouldn't just, defy that and pretend it doesn't exist and keep talking to them. But if there's, one thing about somebody that you're questioning a little bit, just one thing, maybe keep talking to them and kind of see how it plays out. But yes, the first impression is very important, especially the energy you feel from them, not even the mental associations you necessarily make. Comment pertains to the context he provided. Understood. What's going on, Nest? What's going on? Am I mean? My brothers and I play pranks on us since childhood. Okay, I don't understand that. Is social anxiety a bad thing? I mean, it can keep you from talking to people that you maybe want to talk to. So I'd say don't let social anxiety get in the way. You're allowed to feel a little bit anxious and do things anyway. Start small. Ask somebody how their day is going. Don't try and initiate the deepest conversation in the entire world. You have to start small. I used to be one of the most socially anxious people I knew. I was unable, not open to talking to somebody I didn't know. Now I talk to people all the time that I don't know. How do you stop doubting yourself when starting a new chapter? Understand that whether you chose to enter this new chapter or something else in life chose it for you, this is the path that you're walking. And if you feel this is the path you're in tune with, that you need to walk, have faith in yourself. Meaning, your pre-existing skills. And if you don't have those skills that you know you need, start to do a lot more research and integration on how you're actually going to create more of it for yourself. Can't get over my boyfriend's past. What is your boyfriend's past? Exposure therapy truly works. Do the tasks you're avoiding. The magic is in the work that you're avoiding sometimes. Sometimes everything you're looking for is in the things that you're avoiding. Blank things. Okay, with other people? You can't, I mean, was it with like 35 people? If that might be a different story, but you can't judge somebody for doing things with somebody else when they didn't even know you existed. Why does having high emotional intelligence make it harder to live and make somebody super conscious? I wouldn't say it makes it harder to live. I'd say it makes it harder to be present sometimes because you're being kind of thrown around by a bunch of different directions. You have a deep sensitivity. It's about understanding that sensitivity and giving it a space when it's required and making decisions that are in tune with that. But yeah, you're not going to be as disconnected. Like some people can just kind of turn their brain off and kind of do something. I'm not very good at that. I kind of embody whatever emotion I'm experiencing. So you might just be a little bit different in that regard. Doesn't mean you necessarily have to change it. You just have to advance your relationship with it. What's it like coaching someone older than you? Good question. I used to be intimidated by it. Now it makes zero difference. Like how I would treat an 18-year-old client versus a 45-year-old client. I mean, I talk to them a little bit differently, but yeah, like my fears of it, like they totally went away. Because these are about concepts. These are about things that are present in individuals' lives, rather than what number somebody's age is or how long they've been on the planet. Everybody's walking a different journey. Everybody's in different areas of their life. 3, but he loved them and he doesn't love me. How long have you been together? Are you reconnecting with nature after the breakup? Don't worry, bro. Keep your chin up. I mean, I'm always in nature. How do you create a safe space for a conversation and talking to someone new? Asking curious questions and giving them a space to show you what they want to show you and being honest with each other. But you don't need to like pressure yourself into like, let me make the safest space possible. So then you start to overcomplicate it. You don't need to overcomplicate it. Why do I crave someone's attention so much when I'm attracted to them? Because you want, just as you're attracted to them, you hope that they're attracted to you as well. Normal human instinct. It's just about integrating this properly. Don't try and force somebody to do that. But yeah, when you grow an attachment to somebody, you want attention from them. That's how it works. It's not necessarily a bad thing unless you're going after somebody that doesn't want you. You guys have been together for 8 months, and how old are you? Is it okay to be possessive of your partner? Yes, but it depends on the integration of this. Like, if you keep trying to control your partner, like, okay, I'm possessive over them, so I don't let them go to certain places, that's bad. But if you're like, for example, like when I'm in a relationship with somebody, if we're in like a public space and we're with a few people, and it's like, let's say we're on a beach and it's like super crowded, people everywhere, I'll like, if she's going to the bathroom or something, like I'll wait for me to then go into the bathroom, so that I can make sure that she comes out okay, and then she's with a friend of mine or somebody else to make sure that she's safe and she's not like completely alone. So stuff like that, I'm very possessive. But like, you need people need their autonomy and they need their freedom. They have an individual life even if they're still building a life with you. So it depends on what you define as possessiveness. Um, Possessiveness is in some way, shape, or form different than control, but it depends on how you. So if you say, some people would say possession is like you control them, like you don't want to do that. Um, how to deal with stepkids? I've tried everything in the parenting and the fostering book. Okay, well, what are they doing? How to deal with hypergamy and get a girl and have a decent life. I don't think it's dealing with hypergamy. I think it's just creating yourself to be the best possible you, living your life, initiating conversations with women, and seeing if they like you. You don't have to overcomplicate it. How do you enjoy a connection without overthinking where it's going? Pay attention to what's going on right now. How is it actually going? Rather than the stories that you tell yourself about how it's going. What's going on in reality? If you pay attention to that, there's less room to overthink about it. Someone said be a narcissist for a couple of years. Once the acts become a habit, work on toning back the narcissistic traits until you find a balance of your old self while utilizing the skills you've practiced. It's really interesting you say that because I definitely wouldn't recommend trying to become narcissistic. But what I will say is in my self growth journey, I became pretty egotistical for about like at least 2 years. And I thought I was better than other people, and then I kind of naturally found myself like toning myself back and finding the integration because I used to feel like I wasn't worth anything, and then it's like, okay, I'm worth so much, and jump to the opposite end. Neither one was healthy. So I wouldn't recommend doing it exactly like that, but if that is the process that you're already in, yes, tone it back. But you gotta, yeah, it's about consciousness. It's about paying very close attention to where you're truly at. When does seeking attention from someone become unhealthy? When you stop living your life and your life revolves around them. Like if you, for example, if you're dating somebody new and you usually go to the gym 5 days a week, and now because you're dating someone new and you want so much attention from them, you're willing to stop going to the gym entirely just so you can hang out with them. Like that would that's when it becomes unhealthy because you're no longer taking care of yourself. Whereas, if you've had a really busy week, you want attention from your partner, like very normal, very healthy. Um, you guys are there to support each other. How much of who we are is actually us, and how much is it of who we learned to be to feel safe? Very good question. That's an individual subjective answer per person. So you want to ask yourself the behaviors and the physical actions that you do in your life. Are you doing it because you're seeking approval, or are you doing it because you love doing it? And if nobody ever saw that you were doing it, would you still do it? That's how you can kind of tell: am I doing this for somebody else? Am I doing it for myself? But yes, you could also see. I mean, everybody wants to feel safe. It's biological. Your nervous system needs to feel safe. People find different ways of trying to do that, and people's pain and trauma manifests differently. Should I get over this girl's dark past and her relationships despite the fact that she's a different person? Do you know that she's a different person? Are you projecting? Are you assuming she's a different person? What does a dark past mean? Like, that's a pretty big, like, how do you define that? So my girlfriend is blank to a guy, feels really awkward since I'm into women. Okay, so are you guys going to, is that a relationship you want to continue? Is that in alignment with you, or is it not? Not having interest in life for 5 years, and I was trying new things. Okay, what have you tried so far? How to find girls who don't seek attention or they're insecure. Well, everybody seeks attention, but I know what you're saying. You talk about your values on the first date. Does she on her Instagram post, does she post pictures of herself all the time? Or is it just once in a while? Right? A lot of women's social media can tell you, like, if I see a girl that has, like, she's constantly posting pictures and videos of herself all the time, it's usually a red flag to me. Because, like, why are you doing that? You want attention. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying it's not in tune with the type of woman that I want. But she posts stuff once in a while. I mean, yeah, doesn't everybody? I post stuff all the time because this is in line with my business and the stuff that I do. But like, I'm not posting pictures of myself just for the sake of doing it. It's to, promote something, or it's related to coaching or whatever the case is. But of course, I'll throw in other stuff too, as anybody would. How do you know which version of you is asking to be remembered and which is asking to be released? Good question. The version of you that's asking to be released and remembered is usually the same thing. For example, if you locked the 9-year-old version of yourself mentally inside of your brain because of pain that you've experienced, that part of you is asking to be remembered and released from the cage that you put it in. So it's essentially the same thing. How can I tell my ex-boyfriend that he might be narcissistic? Well, it's your ex. Are you still talking to them, or do you just want to shoot them a message out of the blue and say, hey, you're narcissistic? Because that might not be productive. What if a girl who posts always and has a husband, too? Well, why are you concerned about that? You're not going to date her. But, yeah, I mean, my wife wouldn't be posting all the time unless she, does content and makes money from it, or whatever the case is. I mean, she could post stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. Depends on what they're posting, too. Should a girl wear revealing clothing be considered a red flag? It depends. I mean, if she's, barely wearing anything, yeah, part of it's for attention. And because she wants to look good. Because women can put on makeup and look good while not wearing revealing clothing. In fact, some of the most beautiful women, she has a nice long dress on. And sometimes that looks better. Again, yeah, if she only ever wears revealing clothing, that's usually saying something. It's not about the fact that she's not wearing that much, it's the principle behind it. It's, hey, everybody gets access to seeing these parts of me, not just my relationship partner. Yeah, but people who are narcissistic don't believe that. How can I make him think about it deeper? You can't make anybody think about anything deeper. This is your ex-partner, and you don't talk to them anymore. There is no reason to reach out to them and try to, accuse them of things. They either learn these things on their own time or they don't. So if my girl is posting spinning lightsabers, thanks for the gift. Thank you very much. Thank you for the multiple gifts. So if my girl is posting for attention, it means she's waiting for a new guy. I'm not saying she's necessarily waiting for a new guy. Again, everybody posts for attention, right? So people can have eyes on them, but it's the intentionality behind what type of attention are they looking for. Your girlfriend can post pictures of updates on her life on social media. She has friends, she has people, she's allowed to do those things. It's just, it's how extreme is, how often are they doing it. I'm starting my 3rd year on a degree that I hate. Okay. Have you considered changing your major? What's going on, Sammy? Not that simple in Greece. Okay, so what's the process like? Is a caloric deficit very important when you're losing weight? Most definitely. Because if you're eating a ton all the time and expecting something to come off, it usually won't. Or maybe not as effectively or as fast. How to get over someone that you loved when they betrayed you. You can still love them from a distance. Just understand that they can't be in your life anymore. And people make decisions because it's what they think is the best decision for them in the moment, even if it's the wrong decision. So you can love them from a distance and understand that you can't trust them. And you're going to have to experience the pain of this too, because being betrayed is not something that feels good. And you're going to take it personally, but understand that people do things for themselves. Sometimes it just impacts you. I have to retake the exams, which will take a year. Okay. Was it going to lead you to exactly where you need to go? How to send a signal of interest to a girl on Instagram, watching her story or liking a post? I would just send her a DM. I've never really reached out to girls on social media, but yeah, I'd say shoot her a DM. It's been a while. What's going on, Ashley? I invited you to be a guest by accident. I apologize. The button literally just pops up next to the comment. 70 kilograms. How many is that in pounds? I'm in the United States, so I don't know what that is in pounds. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. But to do that, I'll have to choose the major right now so that I can take the right subjects. Do you know what the major would be? Or do you not know? How do I stop cheating on my girlfriend? She doesn't do it for me anymore. It sounds like your relationship is already over. Or this also might just be a troll comment. Sounds like you guys are playing games with each other. You're not taking your relationship seriously. You don't value each other. That's not based on truth. I love your stability, Brad. I appreciate that. Plus, I'll be 3 years too late, which is tragic. Plus, I don't know the major. Okay, so I would do a ton of research over the next few weeks on what that major could be. That's where I would say the first place to start is, truly. Instead of just picking something random, because that might have been what you did last time, and now you're feeling stuck. Have I seen you in any YouTube video? You look like someone famous. I do have a YouTube channel. I'm currently on live on YouTube right now as well. Mighty Brad on YouTube. How do you know if a longing is asking to be followed or simply asking to be understood? Well, it depends on if you can take action on it. Is it something that you can take action on and is going to be beneficial to you and the people around you? Or if you took action on it, it wouldn't be the right time. Sometimes it's not the right time. Sometimes you have to develop a deeper relationship with yourself or an understanding before you take action on it. You have to feel into that. Do I feel like I'm ready to make this jump? And sometimes you don't ever feel fully ready. Sometimes you got to make the leap of faith anyway. Depends on what it is. What major things be there to get friend? I don't understand that. How to stay in a good mood? That's a good question. Intentionality. Priming to yourself. I am going to be happy today. And doing things on a small basis that make you happy, that give you space to experience the deeper parts of yourself, the things that are fun, the things that you care about that are connective. And sometimes you might want to stay in a good mood and you're not going to stay in a good mood because that's not what you were meant to be in right now. You had to experience the other emotions. Hard to not have fear leaving a toxic ex, not the fear of loneliness, but the fear of their control. Yeah, you were comfortable in it to some regard, right? You were stuck. And when you break free and you have a level of freedom that you didn't have before, it's almost scary to experience that, even though you know where you are now isn't right. 154 pounds, 5'9". Oh, that's decent weight. How do I learn to appreciate the small things and enjoy everyday life more? Learn to appreciate the small things, enjoy everyday life more. Definitely get into nature, and pay attention to pay attention to the small things. One thing I just have been doing over the last few days is, I spend so much time just doing different stuff, working on social media, whatever the case is. I'll just put my phone down. Like, today in the gym, I, maybe clicked on my phone a few times to change my music, but I didn't, scroll or look at anything like I usually would. I felt so much more present. So, starting to spend a little bit less time on your phone is a really good place to start. Are you happy, Brad? Happy full circle? No. Am I happy with what I'm building towards in my life and things that I do and create space for? Yes. But am I happy 24/7? No, I don't. I think happiness is a fleeting emotion. What happens to all the versions of us that we almost became? Well, there's a possibility you can still become them. Or maybe in some small case you are that already. Just haven't given a space for it. A lot of our experiences don't necessarily create new versions of us. They reveal parts of us. Oh, it does create, too. Do you talk about relationships? That is why it says relationships here. How do you describe joy versus happiness? I think people, they have their different definitions. I don't even know what the exact definitions are, but I wouldn't even describe... I like to compare, happiness and contentment. You're content, you're feeling good about where you're at, what you're doing, rather than happy and energetic all the time. What is spirituality and why should I care about it? It's all around you. Ask yourself the question, why do I exist? How am I here at all? Does anyone really know what's going on? How do these trees exist? How does the sun come up and go down every day? I don't know why this stuff exists. That is spiritual by nature. You don't understand it. Seek deeper to understand it. You should care about it, not because you necessarily should. You don't have to do anything. But it leads you to more fulfillment in your life, because when you realize that there's a lot of things you don't understand and don't control, sometimes you get freaked out, and sometimes you feel more in tune because you realize your problems are kind of small. You'll always figure it out in some way, shape, or form. Doing research on majors makes me physically sick. Okay, well, you have to do it anyway, because you're going to be physically sick still if you stay down the path that you don't want to go down. Is there such a thing as wanting too much from someone when being in a relationship? Yeah. If you want to spend 7 days a week with someone and them to give up their job and their passions to be with you, yeah, that's asking to be and wanting too much from somebody. But wanting a good amount of attention, to spend time together, to build together, to have deep conversations together, no, it's not wanting too much. Depends on how do you define it. Can't find the energy to do anything anymore. You need to find something that you enjoy. Give yourself some space to go on a walk. Give yourself some space to journal. Start small. And user95, shoot me a follow. Shoot me a DM about this. AWS, I can't talk about that topic on here. You'd have to shoot me a DM about that and reach out to a mental health professional if you're truly in that place. How to get good at remembering details from events said in the conversation. When you finish the conversation, replay what you think are the most important moments and pull out the notes section in your phone and write some bullet points down. Take you like a minute. I feel lost, had 2 jobs, moved to a new one, and got stressed that I lost the other one. Well, you still have one, so you can be grateful for that. Are you looking for another one? Can someone awaken something in you that has nothing to do with them? Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's a lot of what romantic relationships do. Sometimes it has nothing to do with them, but they showed you a part of yourself that you didn't even know existed. Sometimes that's a positive part of you, sometimes it's a negative part of you, something that's challenging to interact with, but you still are able to interact with it because they brought it to the light. So then it's your choice. Do you want to dive into it deeper or not? Yeah, of course, Callie, feel free to shoot me a follow. I'd love to dive into it deeper with you and see if you're back in here. Should I still choose my dream career even though it involves being in education for a long time? If it's your dream career and you know it's going to make you happy, I don't see why not. What are you going to do instead? I wanted to be messaging and didn't expect her her replies to be instant. We were long distance. You were long distance. Are you still in a relationship? The depth of understanding and your reasoning. I wonder how you could have had problems in a relationship. You're saying, like me personally, how I could have had problems in a relationship? Because I'm human like everybody else. So even if I logically understand something, sometimes my body doesn't yet understand it. Or sometimes I start a new pattern and I fall back into an old pattern. Happens all the time, right? Because your brain gets used to something, becomes a habit, and something might remind you of something else, gets you out of the habit, you get stuck there. Even if you logically understand things, sometimes your nervous system still has old patterns from the past that still come up unexpectedly. That's like most of my, I'll give you a perfect example, TikTok. I have, what I discovered for myself is I have a massive fear of abandonment. Right, so I've always been afraid of people leaving me, of people misunderstanding me. So I always had to blame myself in relationships and take responsibility for things that weren't even necessarily my fault at certain times, because I felt this need to focus on self-growth and improve myself. So if I couldn't improve on anything, that became part of my identity. So I needed to, in some ways, create the mental problem in my mind and something to solve when there was nothing to solve. And then it's like the self-fulfilling prophecy of sabotage and ruining things. So even though I understood that at a 10% capacity, I knew I had a fear of abandonment, I didn't know exactly how it was manifesting itself in the relationships. And then when it came full circle and I did an action just a few days ago that made me realize the full circle experience of that, I'm like, oh, okay, this is how it's happening. And now that I'm fully aware of it, now I can change it. But I needed to go through those experiences and do the things that I thought I already knew not to do and repeat them. It is also interesting because it also helps me recognize certain areas in my life in which I genuinely have made progress. I ran into a girl that I used to talk to 3.5 years ago. Talked to her for maybe 2.5 months, something like that. And I was talking to another girl at the same time, and I chose that other girl over her. They actually met together one time. Anyway, I saw her the other day. And I was just standing with my friend. He's like, "Don't you know that girl behind you?" And I turned around and I'm like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" She looked at me for a total of 2 seconds, said, "Hey, how are you doing?" Straight walked away. Kind of made me feel bad. I was like, wait, why didn't she want to have any sort of conversation? And then I remembered, I was rude and disrespectful 3 years ago. I chose somebody else over her. I kind of led her on. But here's what I realized full circle. She only remembers me as the version of Brad from 3 years ago, which is really weird to think about. because that's not me now, but it was me then. And I can't blame her for thinking that that is still me because, well, that's the evidence I gave her. If she was willing to have a conversation, she would then see full circle that wasn't me. But people make their own choices. We have to respect them. So yeah, I mean, there's been a billion issues and mistakes I've made in relationships. Relationships are so much more complicated than we make them out to be, and so many parts of you are revealed during that experience that you didn't know existed. So many insecurities that I didn't know existed popped up there. Then it destroyed a relationship, and then it destroyed another relationship in another way. Like it all comes full circle if you don't address it. How do I help myself with worrying about my future and my son's future? Well, you plan for the future and do what you can about it. And you don't have as much time to overthink about it if you're actually doing something about it. Whereas if you're just thinking about it, you're going to keep overthinking about it. You want to craft small actionable steps you can do on a daily and weekly basis and track those things so you can help your son make better decisions, become a better mother, and make better decisions for yourself. And the best thing you can do for your son is make good decisions for yourself. Leaves a lasting impression, and he's able to see that directly. Why can being seen by one person feel different from being loved by another? Because everybody sees you differently. You have a soul, and that individual person has a soul. The way that they see your soul will never be quite the same way as somebody else sees your soul, even if you love and care about a lot of different people. Nobody will ever see you in the exact same way. And so it's a uniquely beautiful experience through all those different experiences. She left me 3 days ago, and I don't know if I asked for too much. I just wanted to always text. When you say you wanted to always text, like 20 times a day, once a day. Alright, let's see. A lot of people I know think I'm making a big mistake, ruining my chances of a job if I pick my dream. Well, are they right or are they wrong? Only you know the answer to that question, or maybe you don't know what the answer is yet. But if you don't go after your dream, you'll probably spend the rest of your life wishing that you had. But if you don't go after, but if you do go after it, and even if it doesn't go the exact way that you thought it would, you'll know that you did everything you can, and then you make a different decision. But if this is your dream, and you get to go to school for it, and it makes it pretty likely you get that job, I don't see it going in a bad light. What's going on, Frank? How do you show people that you've changed since they have their own perception of you years ago? Only if they're open to a conversation. If they want to talk to you. You don't need to convince them that you changed. You just show them through your actions and your words in combination with that. How you show up. How your energy is different. I remember years ago, I was going through like a really dark time. Really lost in my life, really confused. And I met my friend Kevin. Awesome guy. And he, always valued our depth together and how closely connected we felt when we first met. But he was always like, Brad doesn't seem happy. Anyway, like 6 months went by, or a year went by after I got dropped out of university, and I went and saw him. He lived states away from me. And when I saw him for the first time, he's like, "You're glowing." I'm like, "I appreciate that." He's like, "Your energy is different. Like, I can tell, like, you're feeling, like, you're on the right path. You're feeling a lot better about what you're doing." And I was like, "Yeah, I am." And it was really cool to have him recognize that, because how many friends do you have where, like, they say that to you, like, "Hey, you're glowing. Like, you look really good." Like, that's one of the, when you see your grandma every 6 months and she's like, "Oh my God, you got so much taller," like, that's classic grandma talk, so it doesn't necessarily feel that deep, or maybe it does for you. But then, like, people you haven't seen in a long time, maybe it is your grandma, and somebody says something where it's like, oh, they recognize that? They saw that? I didn't even, like, I've been working on myself, but I didn't even know people would recognize that. Most people don't. And that gives you that unique connection, because they're seeing the depths of you, and they're paying attention. Shows you they really care. Do you have allergies? No. It's just, like, really humid out. So, well, at least I don't think I have allergies. I don't know. I co-parent with my ex. And it's so hard to plan things, but I try my hardest. Yeah, it can be. See if you guys, I don't know if you guys can improve ways of your communication. I don't know where you guys are at in your relationship. How do you know whether you want someone closer or just want to know that they choose you? Well, the first one of wanting someone to be closer to you is because you actually connect with them on a deep level, and you want to get that to become even deeper. You're really interested and curious by it. But the second one of you just wanting to know that they choose you, that's based on your ego. That's if they chose me, or if this person chose me, if that person chose me, I'd feel okay. That's based on scarcity. We've had a constant conversation that went all day. She enjoyed it, then wanted to change it after 12 months. I didn't think I liked that idea. She purposely started making conversations dry to make me put off. Yeah, that's a little bit manipulative. Definitely shoot me a DM about this, JP. Tried dieting for a month. I keep eating even though I'm not hungry. Okay. Are you exercising effectively? Try to numb myself by going to TikTok, and it makes me go crazy. I'm switching from so many different types of content so quickly. Give yourself space here. Put the phone down for a few minutes. Calm down, grandma privilege. What's going on, Dan? It's not that you can't stop, it's just that you don't want to stop. Gotta go, man. Thanks for the advice. Good questions. Good questions. Very good questions. Yeah, everyone who's new here, feel free to shoot me a follow. We dive into this stuff 7 days a week. So, all great new faces here. Welcome in, everybody. Let's get some more questions down here. I think you do have allergies. It's possible. Although I don't usually, have a problem. It just got, really humid all of a sudden. There you go. Thanks for the gift. Tom, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? What are your thoughts on feminism? Oh, good question. I think it started off as a positive movement that gave women a lot more freedom, which I think is beautiful. And I think in some ways what it's turned into is a game of because we were oppressed by men for a certain period of time, let's now make ourselves better and pretend that they don't matter, which again is BS. Men need women and women need men. There's no way around that. The integration of that is different for everybody. So I think it started off as a positive movement, and I think nowadays, at least from what I see of it, it's a lot more manipulative than it is based on actually helping people discover different parts of themselves and have freedom. Wait, do you mean I'm manipulative or her actions? Oh, I'm saying, if she purposely started being more dry to you, to just talk less, that's a little bit manipulative instead of just having a conversation, hey, we need to talk a little bit less because of my schedule changes or whatever. Everyone has dark parts, even though they're a good person. Can they be graded? Yeah, everyone has dark parts. It's about developing a relationship with those dark parts. But yes, you can be a good person despite having... Because again, having these dark parts means sometimes they'll take over and sometimes you'll make a mistake. Or sometimes you'll know you shouldn't do something and you do it anyway. Welcome to being human. Just notice it, so now you can change it. What do you think if my girlfriend hangs out in a club without me? Remember, I'm practicing my English. If your girlfriend hangs out in a club without you, I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing. Do you trust her to not want to engage with other people? Something I see a lot on here is all men cheat and all men are horrible, and I just don't believe that. What are your thoughts? I mean, it's like the same thing as a man saying all women cheat. What evidence do you actually have for that? There is no evidence for it because it's not fundamentally true. It's not that all men cheat, it's that some men cheat. Actually, I don't know this for certain. I'm pretty sure I did some research on it a year ago, so I don't remember this specifically. I'd have to redo it to see if it's accurate. But I'm pretty sure the research suggests that women cheat more. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to make any claims and say, oh my god, all women cheat, because let's say women cheat a little bit more than men do. So it's there's just, these takes aren't productive. If people have been cheated on multiple times, it's usually because they're picking a bad partner who doesn't have values. And they chose to not pay attention to these dark parts of themselves that are manifesting. And sometimes people are attracted to that darkness. Some people try to save people. Some people only get into relationships with people that aren't doing well for themselves because they're not doing well for themselves, and they try to fix each other, and it just never works. So yeah, I don't like any of those claims that people make. When getting married, should both parties be fully independent or depend on the other for something? I think in a marriage, people always depend on people for certain things. Meaning, like, you have emotional needs that you can't meet entirely by yourself, so you rely on them for that. Now, if you're talking about, like, should both people have, like, full independence when it comes to their finances, that's personally, like, that's a personal conversation. If, like, for example, if the wife wants to be a stay-at-home mom, like, okay, then maybe she doesn't need to make her own money. But, yes, I do think if you guys are both two very independent people, I think it's important for you to have your individual things going for you, and then being able to come together and build together. But yeah, just definitely definitely depends on people and their own unique, individual, subjective situations. A guy was wanting to see me. I'm 6 years older. Then he started being busy, and I continued to reach out because I wanted to show him authentic. Okay, cool. So you put all your cards on the table. You're saying, hey, despite you saying you're a little bit busy, I'm going to show you that I'm still interested. Let's see if you reciprocate. And maybe he wasn't reciprocating. Now you've done all that you could, and now you leave it as it is. What's your definition of happiness? Family, friends, romantic partner, like passions, work you enjoy, being able to afford a lifestyle that you love. Do I have to give blank in being understood by everyone? I don't know what you mean exactly by that question. She did mention trying to talk less to me, but I didn't really want to, and then she started talking dry. Yeah, you guys have to come to a common agreement on these things, or else the relationship doesn't work. Should I get a nose job? I mean, what? Do you need a nose job, or could you change your relationship with your insecurity? What kind of suffering is worth enduring? The one where you know at the end you get what you want, or at least it makes it pretty likely to get what you want. But I wouldn't go through unnecessary suffering. It's just more of like, hey, I'm going through some pain right now. What is your greatest fear? Failure, regret, or being forgotten? Probably regret if I had to choose from those three. I couldn't really care less if I'm being forgotten. It's an ego thing. Like, alright, you don't remember me? That's fine. Failure, I'm not as afraid of failure, more afraid of success in certain areas. More afraid of regret, of me doing things that are out of line with my values, which I have done before and still do sometimes. Because I mess up sometimes. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. Yes, sometimes the things we hate in other people are the things we secretly hate within ourselves. Not always, but it's possible. Like, I made a video about this a few weeks ago. I used to judge people all the time for dancing and, like, going to the club. That's because I didn't know how to dance, and because I felt insecure. So I projected that out onto other people. So yeah, sometimes it can really point to an internal reflection and mirror inward to help you face yourself. If we didn't come to an agreement, does it mean it's my fault for not giving in? No, it's not anybody's fault for not giving in. It's just you guys have to have a conscious conversation about this and not play games to manipulate each other, to be dry or to talk less to then get the outcome you want. You need to actually talk about it directly together. I kept reaching out and I did all I could. He didn't reciprocate. A year later, to ask the reason. Is it crazy a year later? Oh, yeah, a year later to ask him the reason? No, he said he was busy. So maybe he just wasn't interested. You have all the closure you need, even if it feels like you don't. How do I deal with a toxic coworker? Love my job and my boss, so I don't want to leave. Okay, Mara, are you able to talk to your boss about this toxic coworker? So maybe their behavior changes? Why do family want to crush your self-esteem, giving you no recognition, and when they want to be superior? Well, it's not just the fact that this is family, because biologically your family's supposed to support you, and you're supposed to be better than your other family members, and they're supposed to support you to be better than them. But this is an ego problem. This is people not being connected to themselves. They're not focused on growth and truth in their life, so they're not helping you do it either. I'm not sitting here and saying cut off your parents or don't talk to them, but maybe you need to create some space. Maybe there's certain conversations you wish you could have with them that you know you can't. So you have to get those needs met in other areas, even though you wish you could do it with them. If my failures are not aligned with my values and come back, would I be forgiven? Forgiven by who? It's people's individual choice if they want to forgive you or not. Is it ever right to do something wrong for the right reason? It's kind of like a contradictory question. It's your subjective reason of what you think is wrong, but it's right, but it's also right. Like, this is just, you're mixing it up too much. Just because it hurts somebody's feelings doesn't mean it's the wrong thing. No, I'm not able to talk to my boss. She likes her. This person plays games with the rest of us. Everybody they play games with? Hey, lol. This kid's a mess. And my best friend's mom just passed away. Not dealing with this nonsense. Oh no, that's not good. He said I keep prioritizing her like it's my best friend. Yeah, that's not good. Look, I mean, yeah, Marina, it's a lot of stuff you're processing at once. Give yourself some space. Can forgiveness exist without justice? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, people don't have to pay for their mistakes for you to forgive them. That's a choice. Yes, because she wants to be the favorite. Pick me behavior. I would just create some distance between her. And, like, you could tell her, like, if she says something directly to play games with you, like, you could literally say to her, hey, I'm not interested in continuing this conversation. Walk away. You could do it in a respectful manner, even if she doesn't interpret it that way. Are people fundamentally good, or do circumstances make them good? I personally think people are fundamentally good unless they're breeded otherwise and taught or not taught certain things. Do we owe anything to people who have hurt us? You don't owe anything to anyone. Nobody owes anything to me. Nobody owes anything to you. We're all just living our individual experiences. It's if people want to give you things out of the kindness of their heart, not because they need to. You don't owe people things. Unless you have like a financial obligation with a bank or something. That you owe. But again, it's just a concept. He gets mad when I go out, but in the end he's invited but says no. We've had plenty of conversations about this not being a connective relationship. How many more reasons do you need? You're afraid of starting over, but what if starting over allows you to actually have your needs met? Why would you give advice if you're on TikTok live and can't pull out a band? I mean, I have a band, I just don't carry $1,000 worth of cash on me. That's kind of unintelligent, so that's why. Because I'm smart. That's why I can't pull out a band for you right now. How do I stop letting others influence my day and emotions? Well, people, Jackie, what's going on? How are you doing? Well, people are going to influence you to a certain degree. Oh, wait, hold on, I pinned the wrong question. How do I stop letting others influence my day and emotions? Set an intention for what you want to feel and experience for the day. And are these people's criticisms towards you constructive, or is it just criticism? You give people permission, not necessarily to have you feel a certain way, but to have it keep going, making you feel a certain way. I'm having this really weird moment right now. You guys ever have those moments where you're like you look up at the sky and you're just existing, and you're like, this is really weird. Like, existence is just really weird. I'm having that experience right now. Have you taken an IQ test? I don't think so. I can't go to the streets. You're not going to the streets. See the perception you put on that? Like, I mean, I'm either in a relationship that I'm not satisfied in, or I'm on the streets. Like, do you see? Like, they're both horrible options. It doesn't. What if there's a third option where I find somebody I'm connected to and I'm happy? Marvel, appreciate the gift. How are you doing since the breakup? Are you still no contact? Yeah, we're not talking to each other. How am I doing? Could be better, but making progress. What's the other option? I don't know where to find people except the streets. Well, the other option is, yeah, I mean, you can meet them in public, you can meet them in coffee shops, maybe you meet someone online, meet someone at work. Thoughts on attachment styles, are they real? Are there exceptions to the rule? Yeah, I think there's exceptions to everything in life. It's not always black and white, there's always gray in the middle. But yeah, I think attachment styles are not necessarily like, you have this and there's no exception. But it's kind of like, hey, I have these patterns that fit somebody who is anxious and avoidant. Sure. And then you just have to pay attention to those patterns and those behaviors and see what you would want to change if you do want to change it. Where do you find people in your 20s? What do you think? I personally, the gym, coffee shop, working. Technically, you go out to bars and stuff like that. I like just the freedom of being able to talk to people anywhere, anytime. I don't really like the ideas of like, oh, you can't talk to somebody in this location. Like, alright, if I want to talk to them, I'm going to go talk to them. Hate is not the opposite of love. Apathy is. Interesting. Yeah, feeling like completely stuck and hopeless. It's hard to talk at work. It needs to be professional. I'm in corporate. I mean, yeah, it doesn't have to be work, right, Marina? It doesn't necessarily have to be work. Just a possibility. How do I get my crush to like me back? You don't force anybody to like you back. You go up and have a conversation, ask them about things that they're interested in, see if you have a connection, and see where it goes. How do you stop procrastinating and stay focused? You have to create small, actionable steps that you know you're actually willing and able to commit to. Put that in your calendar. Do it first thing in the morning. Start off your day on a positive note. Should I let this guy go? I don't know. Why do you want to let him go? You guys can't just come in here and say, should I let this person go? Should I break up with my partner? Like, you gave me zero context. Why would I just tell you to let go of somebody or not? I was diagnosed with autism at 5 years old, pretty high functioning. Is dating something for me? Yeah. You have very high functioning autism. Definitely you can date. I mean, you're going to face certain challenges for sure, but yeah, you definitely can. Frank, I would definitely reach out to a mental health professional if that's the place you're in. But to feel better about yourself, what have you done in your life so far that you are proud of? You'll be able to find a few things, even if there's not that much. If your title, status, wealth, or achievements disappeared tomorrow, who would you be? Human. And what I value. And what I want to build, because then I would rebuild it. Who you really are is what remains. Your achievements are just, and your status and all that stuff is just a reflection of the things that are real internally. So what's internal is what would remain. Alright. How do I seek out help from a professional without my family knowing, so they don't worry? Well, do you think your parents would help you seek the right professional if you were to open up to them? I'm scared my shutdowns would translate into a relationship. Any advice? They might, Avery. Here's the thing. Your shutdowns very well may translate into a relationship. That's why, early on in the dating stages, you would start and you would let your partner know, hey, sometimes when I get overwhelmed, I start to shut down. So in case, like, I don't get back to you for an hour or two, it's not because I'm trying to avoid you. It's because I'm feeling really stuck. And then it's something you can work on over time to maybe not spend as much distance or feel like you need to distance yourself, but still communicate that with them, right? So it's something you work on over time. But the biggest thing, Avery, would be early on in the dating stage, in the talking stage, you let them know about this. That way they're aware of it, and if they're open to seeing the real version of you and they want a relationship with you, they'll not deal with it, they'll help you integrate this part of yourself. So that would be a really good place to start. And Avery, feel free to shoot me a follow. These are some good questions. Would love to see you back in here. I'm worried for the next grade because I felt stuck in the last one. What should I do? Initiate more conversations. Study more effectively. Dive into different areas that you can genuinely control and improve. Yeah, of course, Avery. Great questions. I think they would, but I don't like them worrying about me, and I haven't been open about my mental health. Yeah, Frank, if you genuinely feel like they will be supportive of you and they would help you, sometimes doing the thing that is scary, and you don't want people to worry about you, but sometimes they worry about you because they care. And it might actually help you and them gain a deeper connection and help you connect to yourself more and improve if you were to let them in, even if it's scary. What's going on, Jerry? Doing alright, how about yourself? Because every time we sleep together, he just fades. Until next time, should I let him go? How long have you guys been dating? Appreciate the follow, Jerry. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you, means a lot. Yeah, of course. Frank, feel free to shoot me a follow. I'd love to see you back in here. Is your nose itching? Is that a spiritual sign? I don't know. I don't know if it's a spiritual sign. We're not dating. Okay, how long have you been seeing each other? I mean, if he only sleeps with you and then, like, leaves you and doesn't talk to you again, then might not be a super connective experience if you're looking for something long term. You also have to acknowledge that you let him get access to you in that way without something more. We've only seen each other twice, and he just kind of ghosts you after each. Yeah, he might just want you for that reason. What are you looking for? Mia, thanks for the follow. Frank, thanks for the follow. Self-growth, dating, relationships, spirituality. Feel free to throw some questions down below. spend all my free time watching podcasts about advancing myself. Do you have any tips? Or about being an alpha male? Start to talk to people in reality. Initiate conversations with women in reality, rather than watching videos about it all the time. Start to live your life. Do most people wear sunscreen every day? I don't know anybody who wears sunscreen every day. I'm 28, still seeking validation and looking for safety and validation from other people. Okay. Well, that's a beautiful acknowledgement. I appreciate you being open about that. Okay. So you're almost 30, still seeking your identity, and looking for safety and validation. Well, you're always going to look for safety and validation from other people to a certain degree. It's just about integrating it properly with the right people. So first, the identity is what you want to work on. Like, who am I? Who do I want to become? Who am I working towards? That's the first stuff. That's the first place to start. You have a different energy today. Have you taken pre-workout? I never take pre-workout. I don't think I've ever tried it in my entire life. I just have a little bit more energy today. The first time wasn't supposed to happen. It just did, and the second time was on me. Well, it wasn't supposed to happen. It's because you wanted it to happen. That's why you did it. Well, hopefully. I feel like I should let him go, but I have attachment issues. Well, yeah, when you sleep with somebody, you start to get attached to them more. But if you know you should let him go, you have to do the decision and turn into it with your heart. 19 years old, and your ex won't stop talking to you or calling you after you block their number. What does that mean? Well, they're obviously trying to get in contact with you. Where's your head at with this? Do you think it's bad that I enjoy rejecting women? I actually had somebody yesterday say that too. I think it's bad in the realms of this is feeding your ego because of past pain that you've been through. You're enjoying rejecting people because it feeds your ego. Like, oh yeah, I didn't give them access to me. It's like, what are you trying to prove? What are you trying to prove here? Yeah, Myra, feel free to shoot me a follow. I'd love to see you back in here. How can I tell my friend that her actions hurt me? Can't talk about my feelings. You can talk about your feelings. Stop telling yourself that you can't. You have to tell them how you feel. How to find a feminine girl who's calm and less stressful. Start talking to women. I believe in the law of attraction. If we're kind and do good, the world will be kind to us. Okay. Do you have a question in relationship to it? Love rests on two pillars, surrender and autonomy. Yeah. Habits and letting things go as they naturally should go. What's going on, Jade? Welcome back. Welcome back. Oxytocin, Max? Lots of bonding activities, lots of intimacy, lots of holding hands, lots of kisses, lots of fun dates. Rad is sick and an awesome person. I appreciate you, Dan. How to be more positive. What are you building in your life? How can you create more possibility around that? Going through a lonely phase, loneliness I've ever been in my life. Any advice? Great question, Johnny. The lonely chapter is very challenging. You're going to be discovering parts of yourself that you might not have discovered if you didn't go through this experience. Keep that in mind. You don't necessarily have to prevent yourself from meeting new people. Just understand that some of this time period is just primarily by yourself. What is it trying to teach you? What is it showing you? What is it illuminating that was previously unlit? That's a good place to start. How do I stay sane while trying to build my future? Good question. Okay. Well, if you feel like you're going insane, there must be something that's going wrong, something you feel stuck with, something you're lost or confused with. What is that? Because even though just because you're building towards your future, that wouldn't just, like, usually the question of, hey, I'm building towards my future and how do I stay sane, don't go together. So I'd ask you a question, which is like, what's going on a deeper level here? That's what we have to dive into here. No, I meant more of managing stress, like overwork. Okay, got it. Understood. Okay, meant more of managing stress, like overworking. All right, you need to give yourself, some people who are super ambitious, like myself, it's great. You need to give yourself a cutoff point, meaning like, hey, I know I'm going to keep working and I'm not going to stop. After 11 p.m., I'm done working. When the clock hits 11, I'm done. You need to set boundaries like that for yourself. And when it comes to managing stress, usually we're stressed out about things when we're thinking about doing things rather than actually doing it. If you're working, if you're studying, if you're building effectively, if you're solving the problem, you don't feel as stressed out about it because you're actually doing it. So create more space to doing rather than thinking. That'll be a good place to start. And realist, feel free to shoot me a follow. Would love to see you back in here. Good questions. There is hope even when your brain tells you there isn't. Absolutely. If you're alive, there's hope. If you're alive, there's possibility. And if you're seeing this and listening to this, you are alive. So there's much hope for you. Keep that in mind as you're going through the most challenging times of your life, because I'm right there with you. Lol, I don't know, my problem is that I sleep early, wake up early, just feel like I'm going to burn out. I mean, yeah, you have to make sure, even though you're working so hard and you're building towards your future, you need to give space for things that you enjoy too. For example, maybe going for a run helps kind of physically exhaust your body but recharges your mind, gives you the runner's high. Might be journaling at the end of the day. For example, I've started reading a few pages before I go to bed at night. Helps me really ground myself instead of just like scrolling on my phone or answering messages or still working basically while I'm about to sleep and then going to sleep. Like, give yourself some space to genuinely disconnect and give yourself a few minutes. Things that you actually enjoy doing. Give yourself space for hobbies too. Like, give yourself an hour break if you need it, for depending on what day it is and what you can fit in for the time being. How do I find peace within myself again after I'm drifting as of now? Where are you drifting? What is the peace you achieved before? How did you get there? And where are you drifting off to? And what are you doing to get there? Or what are you not doing? And you might be able to rediscover something or integrate something new. What's going on, B? Okay, got it. So like balance, because I feel like consistency is way more important than overworking. Yes, consistent. And again, consistency and discipline looks like doing the thing 5 days a week, doing the thing 7 days a week. But on Monday, it might be for 7 hours. And on Tuesday, it might be for 3 hours. Not like constantly bouncing back and forth between that, but sometimes you have a bad day. You're still consistent doing the thing, but you might have not made it perfect that day. You're still showing up. Some people didn't show up at all that day. Not to compare yourself to them, but you're human. It's not going to be 12 hours, 12 hours, 12 hours, 7 days a week. It could be if you're able to get yourself to that point, but yeah, you might burn out. Everybody's different. Some people have a very high threshold for burning out, and some people have a very low threshold. You got to see where you're at. And when you feel like you're getting close to burnout, notice it. Give yourself a break. Do something you enjoy to ground yourself. You have to bring yourself back to reality when you're working so much. Because then you disconnect yourself and you maybe work hard for the next 4 months, but then you wake up and you're like, I don't even know what happened over the last 4 months. Like, I didn't live my life. So you have to put your head down and work. Don't forget to live at the same time. So that's what I did the other day. Just took a half day of rest, and then I was good. Exactly. So you know what you need. Make sure you give it to yourself. Don't withhold it from yourself because I need to work harder 7 days a week. Like, once in a while, you got to give yourself a break. And then next week, you might work 7 days a week because that might be what's in the cards for you this week. You got to actually see where you're at, though. Got to be honest with yourself. Give yourself what you need. Your body does not lie to you most of the time. If you had an old crush when you were younger and you still dream about the same person, what does that mean? It just means that you wish you had a conversation and expressed what you actually felt. So your mind is kind of trying to process it in your dreams because you haven't processed it in reality. I have a dating question as well. How do I find a girl if my standards are so high? What are your standards? Because, again, that might be good. Like, for example, every relationship that you have sets the bar higher. Like, for example, all of my relationships that I've ever been in, aside from this last relationship, or actually, I'll say it like this: some of the relationship partners I've been in, like after I was with them, I couldn't go below that standard. And my last relationship that I was in, like, she raised the bar so much that the next girl that I'll date, like, she has to be really good and really connected to herself. And if she's not, okay, she's not for me. So you might be single for a little while. A girl who aligns with my goal, like, I don't want my time to be wasted because my time is valuable. So you give space to women. You go on a date, see if it goes well. If it does, engage in it further. If you're like, I know she's not it, say, hey, it was great getting to know you. I don't feel like we're in alignment. Move on. Move fast, fail fast, make decisions fast, you keep going. So you know the guy I was chasing, do we think he thinks I'm annoying, or he knows it's him? He told our friend he didn't want a relationship. If he doesn't want a relationship, he doesn't want a relationship. You don't have to look into it any deeper. It's just that. He doesn't want a relationship. You don't have to waste your time trying to over-investigate somebody who already gave you the answer. I spent a lot of time doing that. How do I know if he's connected to himself? Good question. He has values. He has things in his life he's passionate about that he's working towards. And when you ask him questions, he gives you serious and fun and authentic answers. You're right. I just feel like it would be so hard because of the percentage of women who are too my. I mean, yeah. Look, the reality is most women are not for you. Most people aren't for you. But here's the cool thing: you only need to find one. Yeah, of course, Lindsay. You don't have to be fearless. Doing it afraid is just as brave. Absolutely. And sometimes even when you do it when you're afraid, it's not even that you become less scared. You just become more courageous. And sometimes that's enough. I never thought about that. Yeah, our dreams are really a gateway to our subconscious or our unconscious mind. They help us process the parts of ourselves we don't give space to in reality, in the moment. So that's why we see faces of people that we've known from the past, or people we care about, or people that we lost, or that we're grieving in our dreams. It's our mind's way of trying to process something it doesn't fully understand, and to communicate to you at some conscious level of how you're actually processing it, where you're actually at. Does the dismissive avoidant always come back? These statements of like your ex always comes back, not always true. I wouldn't listen to like dismissive avoidant always comes back. It's really about like why did you guys separate? Like what's the specific scenario here? We could dive into that. I wouldn't make any claims of this person always comes back. I don't really like those. That's true, and not like the single life is bad. It really isn't a blank problem, more of a connection thing. Absolutely, and that's the thing. Most people, like, the realist, you're really in tune with yourself. A lot of people think it's like an intimacy problem. No, it's a connection. People want connection. They want to feel close to somebody. They want to be understood, and intimacy is a part of that. But yeah, what you're looking for is connection. You'll find that with certain people, and you won't find it with other people. You got to take it as it comes and initiate conversations. If you find a woman attractive, go and have a conversation, see where it leads. Do you believe in Freud? I mean, it's an interesting question. Do I believe in Freud? Do I believe all of his theories? Not necessarily. I do like Carl Jung's work a little bit more. A lot of people like compare Carl Jung and Freud because they knew each other and there's influence. But a lot of people say like Freud like mentored Carl Jung and he was like his predecessor and but like Carl Jung says like, hey, look, yeah, Freud has definitely had an impact on me, but no, he wasn't like my mentor. Like we worked on some things together, but like we're different people. Like when I remember in school when I was studying psychology, like they would teach me like, oh, like Carl Jung was heavily influenced by Freud, and like Freud himself is like, people say that, but we worked together on some stuff, and there's influence, sure, but no, we're not. I'm not. It's not like that. I don't know if you agree, but relationships are reflections of yourself. That's why you like that person. Yeah, you see yourself in the other person, and that's why some in certain couples that are really in tune with each other, they're like they look similar. They physically look similar, or like they have a similar energy to you. Again, my friend Kevin, who is like really in tune with himself, very spiritual, very aware. My last relationship, like we were really connected to each other for the time we spent together. And I remember we were on vacation, and we went to visit him, and we were in the pool together, just, like, all having a conversation, and he was telling me, like, when we went to, like, the sauna together, he's like, when I talk to you, or when I talk to her, I feel like I'm talking to you. It's like, you guys are, like, connected. And it was, that was, like, a really cool compliment to receive, and it's like, oh, like, because we're in tune. How do I know my attachment style? It would be more of, like, not diagnosing yourself in any way, shape, or form, but seeing, like, hey, do I avoid difficult conversations? Do I just try to run away? Do I shut down? Do I feel anxious? Like, kind of seeing what do you feel during these certain conversations. My friend expects more of me than I'm capable of, and I don't want to disappoint them and still be realistic. You have to have a conversation with them about this, and if you can meet each other's needs through that area. Is it best to similarly date or opposites attract each other? It's a good question. You're going to be opposites in certain areas, which is good, and you're going to be similar in certain areas. It's both at the same time, I think. If your best friend kissed you, would you call him bi? Not necessarily. I mean, my friends were drunk the other day, and, like, they kissed each other. neither one of them are gay or bi at all. Um, they were just really drunk. So, not necessarily, but I don't know. I don't know who they are. Would you help me with my relationship with my parents? Sure. Or guardians, in that case. How do you deal with an unpleasant woman if you're forced to be around them? Create some space. You don't necessarily need to engage in a particular conversation with them, even if you're physically around them. I bought my boyfriend his car and messed up my credit for him, and then he cheated on me. Okay, well, here's Vanessa. This is a really challenging situation. So first off, I'm going to say I'm sorry he cheated on you. That's a really challenging thing to process. But here's what I'm going to say: just because you bought your boyfriend his car and messed up your credit, and you're annoyed that he cheated on you, you bought the car because you did it out of the kindness of your heart. That's great. Don't let that be destroyed because you're in a tough spot now. But you also have to pay attention. Were there signs of this? Did I not pay attention to certain things? And Vanessa, shoot me a follow, shoot me a DM about this. Be honest, is everyone going nowadays? Is everyone's girl going nowadays? It's not that everyone's girl is going nowadays. It's just that certain people at all different times are always breaking up and always finding different people. It's just the cycle of life. Like, yeah, a lot of people around me, like, are like, oh, everyone's losing their relationships now. It's like, you just happen to be in a circle of perceiving certain people around you losing their relationships. Doesn't mean it's happening for everybody. Does the dismissive avoidant left because of life stressors like death and me becoming anxious with a boundary? Well, you can't force somebody to stay with you. It's only an invitation for the conversation. I mean, more like they're your boss. It's more of a hypothetical for my future. Ah, okay. Don't take whatever they say personally. How do you know if you can trust someone? Their words match up with their actions. I saw your DM and responded. This might help me a lot. Awesome. Yeah, looking forward to it. Cashman, feel free to shoot me a follow. You can dive into this in the DMs for sure. For sure. Added you on another app, won't let me add you. What is it? My girlfriend is soul-sucking and mistreating me and I'm not ready to leave. She just takes what I give. Yeah, that's tough. Well, you're never going to be ready to leave. It's more of making a decision. Oh, yeah, I don't really use Facebook that much. Yeah, it's really a question of, are you able to have a conversation with her about this? Would she change her behavior? No offense, but and then the rest of your comment didn't go through. How to deal with people who talk behind your back. Confront them on their behavior, and if they refuse to change it, create some space, create some distance. You don't need to surround yourself with people who, she won't change it, well then your relationship isn't going to work. Tavery, shoot me a DM about this. Let's dive into it deeper if you want to. How do you surround yourself with high-value people? I believe energy is very powerful. When people give you good energy, and they can have deep conversations, and they're in tune with themselves, create more space to hang out with them. When they're not in tune with themselves, and you can tell, just don't talk to them as much. But you can meet people anywhere. You can meet them at the gym. I meet people at random places, like certain people at certain times where I never would have expected. The gym, the library, the coffee shop, anywhere, anytime. Who knows? It's all a mystery. It's all really crazy. Like, I can work from anywhere. I work from my laptop. So it's easy for me to work at home. Today I actually went out to the library for a few hours and decided to come home just because I was feeling very emotional. But most days I'm out and about because it's like if there's an opportunity to meet someone, maybe I meet someone. I try to talk to everyone because of them potentially being someone I want to know personally. Yeah, why not? Create that. You create the opportunities too. Could be a beautiful experience. Great questions, everybody. You give good energy. Thank you. I feel like half the battle is not caring if you're judged because you're always going to be judged by certain people. Absolutely. Yeah, fearing rejection, it's like rejection is just redirection. They don't want to be with you, wasn't meant to be. They don't want to have a conversation, wasn't meant to be. That's it. Again, we can try to make it a deeper answer than it is, and maybe it is that we don't understand, but take it as it comes. Are emotions good? They're a part of you. They're showing you different parts of yourself. Pay attention to them. Master the mind, you master reality. Healing takes time, and asking for help is a courageous step. Do you talk about religion? Yes, depending on what religion you want to talk about. I may not know that much about it. Depends on what it is, but yeah, sure, we definitely talk about spirituality. Rejection builds character. That it does. You don't want to have a conversation with someone, and you don't want to talk to me because they don't respect your boundaries, but they keep calling you your phone. What are you doing? Just stop answering. Can emotions be mastered? Managing them, paying attention to them, sure. Destroying them or getting rid of them, not necessarily. Why didn't I know about the weight of sadness that comes with breaking up? Because at a previous point you didn't experience it. Or maybe people you know that have experienced it didn't allow the emotions to come into place. What's something you have materialized into your reality? Relationships, values, my job, connections, everything, in some way, shape, or form. How come everyone gets mad when I'm emotional slightly? Because some people are very disconnected from their own emotions, so the second somebody else is emotional, they get all mixed out of shape. My mom's a Christian, my dad's an atheist. How do I go about things? I just turned to Christianity. How do I go about things? Well, I keep studying it. Keep see where it leads you. How can I stop caring about what other people think of you? Notice that you don't control what they think about you. You just control what you do, how you perceive situations. So do the best that you can, and when you make mistakes, change that behavior. And people can think whatever they want about you. That would be a good place to start. I meant, like, I'm kind of scared to tell my dad because I live with him and I don't want our relationship to be altered. Well, then don't tell him. You're not obligated to tell him. It's not being dishonest just because you're not having a conversation about something that's, you know, you don't need to talk about. How much of life is spiritual? I think it's every second of it. Every second of it. The fact that you have awareness, the fact that you are present, the fact that you can experience any of this at all is a crazy gift. It's insane. You may laugh, but when people say bad things about me, I say, what? I can't hear you. Yeah, it's definitely a pattern interrupt. Gets people to question it. True, but I was thinking about getting across, and I post about it online. So if he finds out, then he finds out. If he initiates a conversation, he initiates a conversation. You can't, if your relationship is altered because you believe something different than your dad, you believe something different. And if it's altered, then that's reality. Why would someone be scared of talking to girls? Because you're afraid of them seeing for who you are. You're afraid of them seeing you for how you see yourself, which is not in the place that you want to be yet. Do you agree that spiritually we should not allow reality to humble us spiritually? What do you mean by that? We are dating for a year and a half, and he forgot my middle name and doesn't know how to pronounce my last name. Okay, does he show up for you in your relationship on a deep level? You're right, I'm probably overthinking it. It's not even necessarily that you're overthinking it, because it's totally fine that you're thinking about these things. But it is that, yeah, if a conversation eventually happens one day, then the conversation happens, and you'll experience it and deal with it when it comes. You don't have to prepare for it, for example. You're just authentic during the time. Is that your dad in the background? Yeah, it is. What should I do when people in school don't do anything? I would say stop talking to these people. You don't owe them anything. How do I get deeper with women when most are very shallow? Initiate the deep conversations. If she doesn't have the capacity to have them, don't talk to her. Just stop talking to her. I've had quite a few women that I dated where it was just like I would explain a deep concept and they're just like... And then I've had other women that I've dated where it's like they continue the conversation and we flow with it. You want the second type. Do you know how hard it is trying to date and the other person is scared I'll always analyze them? Well, yeah, you have to be open about the conversation with them. About, hey, how you feel about the experience. Because then, people are just projecting ideas onto each other. What is the reason I talk formal with a girl, which makes it hard to get to know her? Because you're afraid of letting loose. You're afraid of what you'll say. You're afraid you'll offend her. You're afraid you'll say something that ruins the connection. If you saying one thing that's authentic to you is going to ruin the connection wasn't there in the first place. Just broke up with my boyfriend. Please tell me it gets better. It gets better. Why'd you guys break up? I wish more people would understand how to think deeper. Maybe I'm wrong. Well, I mean, look, it's people's own individual journey. Like, for example, the reason you think deeply about life is because of the experiences that you've had. Maybe other people haven't had those experiences yet, or haven't had them, and so that's why they don't think about things that way. You can't force them into that. You just understand you guys aren't in tune. You guys aren't right for each other. Introverts and more deep thinkers, yeah, sometimes because they have more time to themselves to see where their mind is going, rather than someone who needs to be around someone all the time and is a massive extrovert and can't be alone. I'm only 18, so it's hard to relate to most people. Yeah, I feel that. When I was 18, it was very challenging to connect with a lot of people, but those people do exist. They do exist. Don't lose hope. Every time when a girl tries to approach me, I run away even if I like her. I don't know why, because you're afraid. That's why. What are you afraid of? I'm learning, and I feel that reality is just my frequency or perceptions. It is, in some way, that reality is your frequency and your perceptions, but it's not like you change your frequency and, like, trees don't look like trees anymore, and, like, life isn't normal life anymore. But, again, yeah, there are levels to the game. Why is communication hard for me? Because you're afraid to show people who you actually are. You're afraid to express your deep thoughts. You're worried they might judge you. What if they don't? What if I'm always 5 steps ahead and don't want the other person to know me? Well, then you can never have deep connections with somebody. We broke up because I genuinely need to work on my mental health. I just wish he'd be there while I do it. Maybe you can do it together. Maybe there's a way. Maybe there's a way. How's your day going? Going decent. How's yours? How to build charisma. Learning new vocabulary. It's tonality. Expressing yourself authentically, energetically when the time comes. Asking questions you want to know the answers to. Initiation. In a bar setting, is it possible to meet good women? It is possible. Maybe a little bit less likely, but it is most definitely possible. All different types of people are at the bar. You just have to pay attention pretty quickly to what type of person it seems like they are. Yeah, but sometimes girls could be toxic, smart, but controlling, and one can get stuck with them when you're revealing something. Yeah, you could. Or you could be self-aware and see if she's trying to manipulate you, and then stop talking to her, or confront her behavior. Is that a possibility too? Many different possibilities. Many different possibilities. Where are you from? I like the way you perceive life. I'm from right near New York. I'm in Jersey. What if she's 5 steps ahead and gets manipulative later? Then you figure it out. And you stop talking. You can't try and always plan 5 steps ahead. You have to look at reality. If you're looking at reality, you'll usually find the truth if you're actually looking, rather than just getting consumed by it. But you can't just assume everybody you talk to is going to be manipulative. Form of sabotage, because you're afraid. Leave them before they leave me. Come up with a reason as to how they're screwing with me, even if they're not. What's going on, Gracie? Did you get the summary that I sent over? I'm not sure if I think I put 1 or 2 lectures in there. Things I do for good weather. I'm in Arizona. It's 115 every day. Yeah, that's wild. That's nuts. Having a bad day. Sorry to hear that. What's going on? Today was not a good day. There will be days that are like that. Sometimes that's what it is. You didn't have a good day. That's okay. Yeah, but the presumptions of things I thought about them were 80% of the time correct. Okay, so why did you not confront it in the moment, and why did you just think about it and let it be until it actually manifested itself? What's going on, Wavy? Work was horrible. I have a child that is harder, and it just keeps getting overwhelming. Yeah. So it was a hard day. Let it be that. Let it be today was a hard day. Feels like I'm not doing enough to help him. Sometimes you can only do so much. Even though you're a teacher, you are not the child's savior, right? You can only do so much. Do the best that you can. Keep showing up. Sounds good, realist. Looking forward to seeing you soon. Have a great session. Welcome in, everybody. What is your advice on getting out of the comfort zone, specifically in sales? Ooh, say the things you're afraid to say that you want to experiment with, like how you handle objections, or what questions you want to ask somebody. Work on your tonality. Getting out of your comfort zone is essentially, what are the 1 or 2 to 3 things I want to work on this week, and find a... and you experiment with it. You see what works and you see what doesn't. Will you make some mistakes? It's possible. It's highly possible. You're human. That's okay, because you'll learn through it. Maybe I'm scared of losing time and energy. Aren't we all? Everyone's afraid of of picking the wrong person. But you're only really afraid of picking the wrong person if you don't know what you want. If you know what you want, you know what you're looking for. Okay, they have it? Cool. They don't? Okay, next. Gets overstimulated a lot and upset a lot. Yeah, it's his own emotions. Don't take them personally, even if they're influencing you to a certain degree, because you're obviously dealing with it. Why would girls wait for me and be loyal? Does it mean they're looking for a guy that they can control? Not necessarily. Maybe they want you. It's like, if you guys watch The Odyssey, like, in The Odyssey, I don't know what her name is. Is it Penelope? The wife of Odysseus. She waits 20 years. Odysseus goes to Troy, and he's away for 20 years. And there's men living among the castle and the village, and all of them are trying to marry her. I want to be with you. Odysseus isn't coming back. She waits 20 years from him. Not knowing if he's hoping he's going to come back, but not knowing. She waited 20 years for him. My friends, I was talking to my friends about it the other day, and they're like, just wait till you find somebody who looks at you that way, who experiences you that way. They would wait 20 years for you. If that's not love, I don't know what is. I bursted into tears because he doesn't mean it, but I want to help him and I care about him. Yeah, feel those emotions. You want to help. What do you say to people who don't want to be here anymore? Okay, definitely reach out to a mental health professional if that's the place that you're in. But that's not actually what you want. You just don't want to experience a massive amount of pain anymore, so you have to start to confront that. And sometimes you do that with other people, with help. Also, how do I focus on one thing that I love the most, like a hobby or a business? Give non-negotiable time in your calendar and specific tasks you're going to do on a daily basis to integrate it and to complete it. What if there were not only one girl who waited? I mean, well, I don't know. They waited. But what's the exact question? Like, what are you looking for here? It sounds like it's like an ego thing. Like, oh, they just waited for me. Are you talking to them? Or is this like a game in your mind? Like, these girls are waiting for me. Are they actually waiting for you? You sure? Why do I get nervous around guys? Maybe you're afraid of them. You're afraid of somebody knowing who you actually are. You're afraid of falling in love. You're afraid of intimacy. A lot of different possibilities. It's different for everyone. The best way to overcome temptation with anything, when you get tempted, find something else that you enjoy doing that you could take that energy with and pour it into. That's the best way to integrate it. You don't want to pretend it doesn't exist, because that just pushes it down and then it gets stronger and comes up more later. How to choose between Penelope, Athena, and Circe. You've already made your choice. The woman that you're meant to be with. Which is what? Penelope. Put your focus on a different thing, exactly. You have the power and the control to do that, even if it's challenging at times. Can I ask anything? For the most part. Thank you, I was just wondering if you could do more, or if I could do more. Sometimes you can. Maybe you learn some different techniques to help the child manage their emotions more. Or maybe it's that they're going to have the outburst anyway, and you just need to sit there with them and experience it. When I get my settlement, you should come down and hang out with us. Dave and Buster's, Scooby-Doo golf. Yeah, that. Where are you from? I don't remember. Dude, these mosquitoes. Fridge is not working. What can I do? Is it plugged in? Is it plugged in? Oh, you're in PA. Very nice. I don't know. Is Pittsburgh like on the other side of PA, or is that near me? I don't know. Zero's gonna go check if it's plugged in. He's gonna be like, "No, bro. Thanks for helping me. I plugged into my fridge and now it works." I don't meet people and make friends. I'm socially awkward, but I yearn for a friend group. Good question. Don't worry. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the fridge question. Okay. Don't be afraid to, if somebody looks interesting, have a conversation. Hey, I'm trying to meet new people. Tell people the direct reason. Hey, I'm trying to meet new people. What's your name? Right? If you're at university, if you're at work, if you're out at the gym, like, there's no right or wrong places to meet people. That's why that would be the first place to start, genuinely. And feel free to shoot me a follow and a DM about it, because we could see where you're at usually in your life and kind of come up with an action step around it. Why is it that when I'm not searching for love, it wants me, but when I'm ready, the love is not there? Well, because you're never ready 100% for love. When I entered my last relationship, I was in a place in my life where I thought I would be single for at least like the next 8 months. I wasn't, because I happened to meet the right person at a time that I didn't think I would meet somebody. It just happened. You have to be open to doing it before you're ready. Oh, it's down the other side. Yeah, it's probably a far drive. It's hard because I sit with him and he kicks and yells, and it's hard for me to see him upset. He's going through the motions, but he'll forget about it, just as most kids do. If you make her giggle, then you can make her. I know that statement. It's possible. I'm not even joking anymore. I swear it wasn't plugged in. Yeah. All right. Sounds good. You know what? You're goated. Here's a follow. Thanks, bro. Thanks. Best question of the evening. Best question of the evening. What are the lectures on? They should be on Notion. Like, Gracie, I think I sent you a text with the summary, and then when you click on the summary, there should be a section for what's it called? Like, there's a reflection prompts section, session summary section, actionable steps section. There should be a lecture material section. Let me know if it's there. Not yet. I appreciate that, Dan, but I got it. Alright, let's mute this person. I need help. What do you need help with? How can I become extroverted before college starts? Well, just start to talk to people randomly. Ask them how their day is going when you're in public. And you might just develop it mostly when you are there for the first few weeks. What are the fridge things? Oh, so someone was asking, like, oh, why isn't my fridge working? I said, is it plugged in? He's like, no, it wasn't. I'm so upset I missed the groups. That's alright. That's why we record it. But yeah, feel free to jump in any of them that you want to jump into. With my ex-boyfriend and my best friend are dating, and she's mad that I'm walking away. Oh, that's fair. You're making a fair decision. When is the next one? Next lecture live on Zoom is tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So usually the time that we have our one-on-one sessions, it's at like that 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Hope to see you on. How to stop overthinking. Ask yourself where the overthinking is leading you. To a certain lesson, to a certain emotion that you haven't been feeling. How long you'd be on for tonight? Not much longer. I've been on here for like 2 hours, I think. Sorry for venting. No worries at all. Appreciate you being open. Yeah, and I got my next session soon as well. Oh, man. Does too much philosophy make me distanced from religion? It's possible. Not guaranteed. It's like, can I look too deeply into stuff that I end up becoming too surface level? It's like, yeah, it's possible. You try to go so deep, it's almost you bounce yourself back out. You're obsessed with it. I followed you. Thanks. When did you start coaching? About 2 years ago. Can I ask for advice? Sure. Missing chances. Missing chances for what? I am 22. Why did 2026 go very fast? Every year feels like it's speeding up. We're not being as present. How do I start putting myself out there more? Initiate conversations with people. Hey, I'm trying to get, again, like I said before, I'm trying to get to know new people. What's your name? Just for the sake of doing it. Some people will be like surprised. Some people will be like, oh, like sounds good. People have different reactions. Go to things like do things solo by yourself. I went to a concert by myself. I went to 5 countries by myself. Again, you don't have to do it at that big of a scale. But if you're afraid to go to the gym by yourself, go to the gym by yourself. Go play pickleball. Like there's a pickleball place that people all go in the evening. So it's like, all right, I used to be able to go with people, and then at a certain point, it's like, all right, nobody's there to go with me, so I'm gonna go myself, and I'll play with other people, and I'll meet people. So you do that too. Why is it every time I want to change and approach new people, half of the year went, and now I haven't done it? Because you're thinking about it, you're not doing it. You have to make sure you do, like, I'm going to do this tomorrow. Like, you have to make a commitment to it. My grandma's stubborn. She has bad legs, so she uses a walker, but she can walk and stand on her own. Okay. She says she can't do things on her own, but she can. You can't control her. If she's going to complain about certain things that she can do, you're going to have to deal with it, right? You can't force somebody to see something that they don't want to see. Their eyes are metaphorically closed, even if they physically can see what's in front of them. So if I just keep talking to more people, will it become less scary over time? 100%. I am so less scared. That's not the proper English. I'm a lot less scared to talk to people now when I initiate conversations because I used to be so scared, and I faced it anyway. It's not to say I never get anxious. Depends on my mood. Last month, she's been having us do a lot of stuff, and it's really challenging. Yeah, do what you can. Don't take it personally, because it's just her own internal reflection of herself. Brad, 112 lives transformed by the self-development coach. Very nice. Thanks. Proud of you. I appreciate that. How to remove my fear of holding present... Holding what? I don't want to lose her. Maybe you won't. Not for a while. Fear of holding presentations. You just have to do it more. Like I used to be afraid of public speaking, and then I do it every day on here. So if I was in a room with people, it would definitely be different, and maybe I'd be a little bit more nervous, but I'd still be really excited to do it because of how much I've done it. Yeah, I mean, Gracie, see if there's other people that could do some stuff that's a little bit more. And yeah, you're not hurting her just because you're giving more space to yourself at certain points. How can I drop from med school because I regret it without disappointing my parents? Well, they might be disappointed, but what are you going to do instead? You don't want to just drop out with no plan. What do you have? What's your vision? Definitely, I need your advice. I got stuck in one relationship. I need to get out of it. Yeah, well, let's. If you click on my website, there's a section on there where you could book a 100% free coaching session with me for 30 minutes. We could dive into it there if you want. I'm going to head off of here in a few minutes. Public speaking was hard, but when I was a DA counselor, it was easy. Yeah, it becomes easier over time. All right, everybody. Feel free to follow. Feel free to subscribe. Yeah, Gracie essentially said, taking care of yourself isn't always a disservice to her, even if it feels that way sometimes if you're not fully showing up all the time, because you need to take care of yourself too. And if she needs to get it done and she can get it done, she'll get it done. All right, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Feel free to like. Feel free to follow. Feel free to subscribe. Feel free to shoot me a DM. Looking forward to seeing you guys on the live tomorrow. I appreciate your presence. I'm able to come on here 7 days a week and do this because you guys show up. So, we had a lot less people in here than we usually do, unfortunately, but maybe tomorrow will be a different day. I'll see you guys very soon. Appreciate you very much, and bye-bye.